welcome. And first of all, congratulations on your admissions to our program. We're very excited for you all to join our community and to get to meet you over the next few months and also years and to support you throughout your time with Communication Leadership Program. For those of you who may not know, I am Ekin Yashin. I am the Director of Communication Leadership Program. I'm also a faculty member in the program too. I teach one of your required courses as you join us next year. I also support you throughout your journey alongside many of our community members. And for purposes of today, we're joined also by both staff of our program, Heather Werkel and Liao Zhao, as well as students and recent alumni of the program too. So the basic order of the day is I'm going to start by telling you a little bit about our program, and then I'll turn it over to my colleague Heather Werkel, who'll tell you a little bit about upcoming processes. And then I'm going to engage in conversation with our students and alumni participating today about their experiences in the program. We'll dedicate 15-20 minutes at the end to your questions. So feel free to, as we're talking, if a question comes up, share it in chat. That's what we'll do. And then at around 5:40, we want to create breakout rooms where you can join current students and our alumni, Matthew Joseph, in conversation and join them and ask them candid questions about their experiences. I won't join those breakout rooms, and neither will staff, so that you can get your questions answered in a more interpersonal and small group format at the very end for the last 15 minutes or so. So that's a very busy hour. But I'll now speak without the slides so that you can see me, but I also want to see those of you who are in the room too. And again, just a really warm and heartfelt congratulations to all of you. And we're thrilled to be here with all of you today. So at the very beginning, I just want to say and share a couple remarks about our program and also share with you why you should be considering our program now and the things that we're doing differently or that makes us special that I hope that you can all know. Again, we are a very competitive program each year. The numbers of our applications are growing. And with that, we're unfortunately able to accommodate a smaller group of applicants. So we're thrilled when our community grows and thrives. And we're always thrilled to get to meet and see all of you and be a part of your journey. And you're joining us again. I think any moment in our program is a pivotal time, but we are, and we take pride in being a very responsive and relevant program. As you all know and have examined as you were applying, we've been around for about 20 years, but during those 20 years, actually one core element that has remained the same is our program tried to make sense of what's happening in our world and try to create learning opportunities for you to collaborate with a truly global community in making sense of what comes next. So it's no wonder that at this moment, we're not only thinking about changing work environments and how future work is being crafted and new content creation strategies and new storytelling strategies, but we're also examining and integrating to our curriculum new and emerging trends and topics such as understanding how artificial intelligence is changing our practice, how team dynamics are necessary in a moment post the pandemic where people have worked and tried to be together in distance and trying to reorient themselves, and even in an environment where they're not always sharing space. So whilst we're exploring these key topics in our program, we're not just exploring them hypothetically. Another reason why I'm really proud to be a part of this community and our graduate program is distinguished is because we create ample opportunities for our students in the program to apply their learning. So today you'll be joined and we'll hear from students working alongside projects with clients, working with our program in different projects. We really believe that one of the best ways to learn and understand some of the key issues and skills that we're cultivating for our community is to practice it. We have a really robust consulting program also on top of our classes and also in some of our classes, where our students are leading initiatives with organizations, creating content for them, working on UX design challenges for actual organizations all around the nation, applying their skills and really building their portfolio in a meaningful sense whilst making impact, true social impact in the communities that they're part of. And then we're doing that again. We are not just crafting our curriculum and our experiences alone. We have a robust connection to a variety of key companies and organizations in our region. We're forming this year, actually, when you arrive, we'll have an advisory council, but we also have collaborators and partners in all the key companies you can imagine in this region in Seattle, to name a few, like Microsoft and Amazon, but many others as well, communication agencies like Edelman. Their leaders also work with us in reflecting on our curriculum and experiences to make sure that whatever we're offering you actually really reflects the work environments and professional environments that you may be already a part of, and you'll continue to build your careers at, or that you'll enter after the program as well. So we take a thoughtful approach. Final note that I want to make sure that I relate to all of you as you consider joining our community is the strength of our community. I think I say this everywhere, but you'll hear me say this as you join the program, as you're a student. We try to shy away from a transactional approach where we're just offering you classes and that's it. We really believe in you and we're here to support you, but so are our students, alumni, faculty, and staff. We actually have a very cohesive community in the program. We have multiple community engagement opportunities, many ways to support you, many ways to stay connected with you. I can with pride say that I remain connected and think with our alumni and students and staff and faculty throughout their journey and many years afterwards too. We have about 1,100 alumni who completed the program the past 20 years, and they in abundance remain very connected and committed and really believe in our program, Communication Leadership. So once you enter this experience, it's a lifelong commitment. Will be a part of your identity, will be a part of your experience, will be a part of your life, and you'll be a part, I guarantee you, of a wonderful supporting global community. So that's what I am personally thrilled about. Again, congratulations to all of you. I really appreciate you and you being here. With that, and I want to turn it over to my colleague, Heather Werkel, who will share with you a few key dates and key details that are upcoming for your considerations. Again, feel free to share questions in the chat too. But I want to turn it over for Heather to mention those so that you take note of those. And then after that, again, as I mentioned, I'll engage some of our current students and alumni in a conversation to give you a sense further of our program. So Heather.
Great. Thank you so much again. And thank you, Millie, for getting the slides back up as we move on to our information part. I'm not going to read everything on them, but if we could go forward to the who is cohort 24 slide. First, to introduce who I am Heather Werkel. I am the Assistant Director of Academic Services. So that means I am your academic advisor while you're in the program, and the person to go to with any questions about your degree requirements, class registration, all of the academic side of things. So on this next slide, we have some information about who is going to be joining us this fall. And a lot of students have asked me this that have been admitted, like how many people are in the program, in the cohort, where are they coming from? So here's just a snapshot. And like I said, I'm not going to read all the data on this, but you can just get a glimpse of how many different countries are represented. We have 23, I think now it's 24 with some of our round 2 admits now, who countries represented among our students in the program. So a very diverse international cohort of students. For our domestic students, they're from over 20 states across the United States. So again, even within the country, we have a lot of geographic diversity. And then our domestic students also, 72% of them identify as Black, Indigenous, or people of color. So all sorts of different diversity represented in our cohort. About a quarter of our international students coming into the program actually earn their bachelor's degrees in the United States. So this won't be their first time studying abroad for international students. And then for academic backgrounds, we just have such a wide variety. I think I counted 52 fields for undergraduate majors, which is wonderful to see people coming from lots of perspectives, academic backgrounds, work backgrounds as they're coming into the program. And speaking of the work backgrounds, we have a little bit here on like how long it has been since students graduated when they're coming into the program. So about 8% of our cohort graduated more than 10 years ago with their bachelor's degree. So have been working for quite a while, kind of established industry professionals. About a quarter, just under a quarter, graduated 4 to 9 years ago. So that's what we tend to refer to as mid-career professionals who are coming back to school after working for a bit. And then about 70% graduated within the past 3 years, so kind of new graduates coming into the program. We do have former Huskies returning, and then we have a number of students who already have a master's degree who are coming back for another one in our program. So just to give you an idea of who you'll be joining the program with when you come in the fall. And then for upcoming dates, we have, let's go 2 slides forward from here. What happens next? What are your deadlines? What are dates you need to be thinking about? So your first deadline that you need to be aware of, oh, looks like this is an old version. So I updated, sorry, Millie, like 10 minutes before the session. Your deadline to make your decision is May 20th. So that is your application deadline. This was from our round 1. So apologies for that slide having the incorrect date there. But May 20th is that decision deadline. So that's when you need to go into your portal, accept or decline your offer, and pay your enrollment confirmation deposit no later than May 20th. And that, we have a little bit of flexibility there. If you're having a hardship, if your payday is May 25th, and so you can't pay the ECD by May 20th, just contact me. Feel free to reach out. We can have some flexibility around that for those kind of situations. Once you have accepted your offer, you will have different steps to enrollment that you need to complete. So submitting an official transcript, immunization documentation, and then for our international students, completing your I-20 request. So those will all come up on your applicant portal, and you can also find those on our Comm Lead New Students SharePoint site in your important dates and to-do items. We will be having pre-registration advising for all of cohort 24 the week before registration opens, so June 10th through 14th, and I'll be sending out that information in early June to our final cohort, and then you'll start registering for classes June 17th, attend orientation, and then fall classes begin September 25th. So that's just a glimpse ahead of what is coming, and I think now I will turn it back to Ken to move on to our student ambassadors.
Thank you so much, Heather, for sharing these dates and for reviewing what's coming up next for everyone. So I want to now open it up to a couple questions to our current students, but I first want them to introduce themselves. Maybe if you could share where you're from and what you're studying or what you studied, because we have an alumni with us too. I'm going to go in order of who I'm seeing on my screen and next to me. Haya, can we start with you?
Yeah, sure. So hi everyone, my name is Haya. I'm from Taiwan, and I'm currently a student in Core 23 MCDM track. And I'm also working as a multimedia storytelling consultant for Comm Lead now. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Haya. Thank you. So I see next is Kavya.
Yes. Hi, guys. My name is Kavya, and I'm from India. I'm currently in the MCDM track, part of cohort 2023, and I'm also working as the social media manager for the Comm Lead right now. Thank you.
Thank you. Millie?
Hello, everyone. My name is Millie, and I also come from Taiwan, and I'm the student in the MCDM cohort 23. And in my past experience, I working as a product specialist and product marketing before. Yeah. Thanks for coming.
Thank you. And last but not least, until very recently a student, but currently an alumni, Matthew Joseph. Matthew?
Hey guys, welcome. I'm from the 2022 cohort. I'm from the MCDM track as well. Nice to have you everyone here.
Thank you so much. And again, I know that there are those of you who have been admitted to MCCL or MCCN2. And I will be happy to answer all of your questions regardless. And a lot of our experiences are common too. So when you connect to our students and alumni individually too, or in small groups, you can ask them about holistic experiences and classes at large as they see all of the classes and experiences. Now, I want to take a few moments and ask our students a few questions. And again, I'll do this relatively quickly because I also want to dedicate time to your questions too. I know that some questions are coming as they're coming. Heather is answering some of them, but we'll also answer them collectively too, so that everyone can hear answers to common questions that you may all have as you're considering and making decisions about your program. So I want to ask our students about some of the experiences in the program. I'll start with Millie. So one of the things that we do in the program, and you'll see that some of this, actually most of the students here have engaged with the program across levels, is opportunities to apply their learning by a number of opportunities within and outside of the program. Millie currently is our event and outreach coordinator. So Millie, can you tell us a little bit about, very briefly about how you're applying your learning and what you're doing in your role?
Yeah, sure. My role is the event and outreach coordinator at Comm Lead, and what I help mainly is about the career focus events, such as we do have like the monthly first Friday, like April first Friday, we invite the COO from Microsoft to share with us how AI affect our career path, and also how we can use AI to make our work be efficient. And also like in the May first Friday, like just like the last weekend, we also invite the digital communication, the director, and she shared with us like how is working as in the marketing agency looks like, and she also shared with us some like the internship and some like full-time opportunity with us. And I think during this process, I feel like I use my ability to collaborate and to work with the stakeholders, and how to make sure the process is going smooth, and how to discuss with my colleague like what may attract them more, and what kind of events can help them to make sure we are focused on their career path. So this is I think what our program provide the students. And we do have some like alumni workshop. Like last time we invite the alumni, she shared with us like how to prepare for the interview as a UX designer, because she worked as the Google as the interactive designer before, and how we can make our portfolio be focused and be like attract the hiring manager to watch out. So I think this is the very precious opportunity and memories for me, and to use it in my career and also my study.
Thank you, Millie, for sharing that. Yes, our students get to meet with a lot of different professionals, companies, organizations, and Millie facilitates a lot of that work alongside, of course, pursuing her graduate degree. Thank you. Matthew, you recently graduated. I think you're still adjusting. It's been a quick journey, but but nonetheless very impactful. So, can you share with us briefly how was your journey? How was your 18 months or 15 months rather? At Comm Lead.
Absolutely, I can. I think from the get-go, it's been amazing. I come from a background of advertising, and Comm Lead especially, I picked it up because the diversity of programs classes that I can take up. So my focus were on marketing and UX and content strategy. I wanted marketing because I wanted to just add on to my skill sets in advertising with more foundations in marketing. So I picked up a few feature of marketing. There's a very popular course in our program, copywriting, and a few UX classes as well. Because one bit of marketing is to learn how you apply those principles into technology and product development and product marketing. I think one of the key factors about Comm Lead, the experience that I've had, is the instructors. They're all working professionals, the industry experts. You get a very hands-on, practical, real-life insights to how things work. So it's not academic in nature. It's very up to date. So that's one of the best things. Like, for example, David Evans, he is from Microsoft. You get insights into what's happening in the market, the latest, how they apply into actual real world scenarios. So you get hands-on learning from them. Secondly, is the amazing community that we have, present students, the faculty, and the alumni. So you create a really strong network. I've myself heard from other programs within UW saying that we have a very social and vibrant community as opposed to them being just students. So it's kind of a big Comm Lead family that I'm still attached with Comm Lead, so you can't really get me out of it. So you can see how I'm talking about it. So pretty much an amazing 15 months in Comm Lead so far.
Thank you so much, Matthew. We're lucky to have you in our community. So we've heard from someone who just completed the journey, but Haya, I want to ask you, you started the program this year. How has been your journey at Comm Lead so far? What are some highlights for you?
Okay, so I really like my journey. My journey here couldn't be better. Since I wanted to focus on video, audio, and social media, I took many storytelling classes. And last quarter, I also volunteered in one of our consultancy programs as a social media strategy for a nonprofit organization. And it's overall, I learned so many new skills and gained experience working in the US and build up my own portfolio. And also in my current role as a multimedia consultant, my primary responsibility is to assist my colleagues with any question they may have regarding storytelling, editing, and recording, or for class or personal projects. So far I receive a few students are asking about how to use like Adobe Audition and seeking suggestions for their scripts, how to start to manage their own like social media. And I'm just really excited to have this opportunity to leverage my own skills and experience to assist people in this role.
Thank you so much, Haya, for your comprehensive overview, and we're lucky to have you. And again, to highlight is that we try to leverage all of your talents too in the program. I think all of our students, one of the advantages is the family component that Matthew said, but working alongside people who have different skills and to be able to support each other. And we created a number of roles for our student community and to leverage their expertise and to create a collaborative environment where you get supported by us as well as your peers who may have experiences in domains that you're getting familiar with throughout your graduate journey. Thank you. Kavya, I want to ask you too, you're also applying some of your learning and you're our social media manager
Yeah.
currently. So can you share us a little bit about how that's aligning with what you wanted to do?
Yeah, so I come from a background in public relations back there in India, and I always wanted to pivot and get into marketing and learn more about UX. And Comm Lead was the first choice because when I started taking the classes, I realized I can do a blend of both, where I have the option to explore UX more and marketing at the same time. Similar to Matthew, I am really into storytelling and I want to get a gist of how marketing works and UX works with the real clients. I got the opportunity to work for a volunteer project in the consultancy for a client called Zane Counseling. It's a mental health organization based out of Seattle. And it was a bliss because I learned a lot about social media strategy and content strategy. My role was to get the content right, to promote their events, use WordPress, keep updating the website, get the newsletters out. And my classes, those foundational skills have really helped me to apply those skills in my practical setting. And it has been a great journey. And recently I started being as a social media manager for Comm Lead, where I work cross-functionally with Haya, Millie, and we all have those quick Friday meetings where we brainstorm on a lot of ideas and how to promote this open house event, how to promote this alumni mixer. And it's been great because it just makes you think more and get more innovative. So I'm really grateful. Yeah.
Thank you so much for all your work. And as you see us presented on social media and other channels too, please know that a lot of the representation and work that's done is done by our students. We want to leverage all their learnings and give them ownership of the program because this is their program, this is our program, this is now your program. So with that, I want to hear before I transition, I know that questions are coming in, so I'll transition that in just a minute. But before I do so, maybe one or two of you, I know that those who are joining joining us today are trying to make a big decision. They're trying to decide whether or not to join a program. They probably have other options and other thoughts. And so, how did you make the decision to come to our program? What made you decide this program over others?
Yeah, I think I can start sharing first. Yeah, because like I was the product specialist before, and I want to pivot to the UX design, and I prefer the learning by doing. So Comm Lead program provide me many like the project-based courses, which means that I can like doing my assignment and my like the homework like for doing my portfolio and helping me to build out a portfolio like to apply for like internship or like the full time. And I think it is a great opportunity because like working with your teammates is just like working in the like a real world company. You need to like collaborate with each other and how to make the timeline, how to like use how to like negotiate with your stakeholders. I think that this process really helps me a lot. Yeah, and I think this is the one reason. And the second reason, like as an international student, we Comedy program provide 3-year OPT. So this is kind of big opportunity for us, for anyone who want to like work in the United States, and you have more chances to like stay here and like work in United States. And yeah.
Thank you so much, Millie, for your answer. And I'll maybe dive into some of your answers, the rest of you, in the question and answer session, because I want to make sure that we get to them. And some of them are about this too. And I'll direct the questions to those who can answer, or if multiple people can answer, I'll pick some of you. And again, all of you will have a chance to talk to our students and alumni currently in the call at 5:40. We'll divide you into breakout groups or open up breakout groups where you can just join and ask them, one-on-one. I know that it can be sometimes daunting, but we also encourage you all to turn on your cameras or turn them off as we talk to all of you as well. So let me start asking some questions, and please feel free to continue asking more questions in the chat. As well. In the next 13 minutes or so, we'll answer some questions openly, and then we'll move you to breakout groups. There's one question, Heather. I'll start with a technical one. Tanvi asks when the deadline is for I-20 documents. And then I know that there was another question. Valentina also asked about submitting transcripts and the deadline for that too. If you could remind us about those upcoming deadlines, we would really appreciate it.
Of course, common questions here. So basically, the only deadline that you need to worry about at this point is the acceptance deadline. So saying, yes, I want to come to Comm Lead and paying your enrollment confirmation deposit in the system, that deadline is May 20th. After that, you have a lot of time for some of the other items. So your official transcripts and your immunization requirement, that you just need to complete that process and get those verified by the start of winter quarter registration. So basically by the end of October, you'll need to have those taken care of. So plenty of time for your transcripts and the immunization. For international students who need to do their I-20 request, you'll get the invitation to the My ISSS system about 3 to 5 days after you pay that enrollment confirmation deposit. So that's the beginning of that timeline for submitting your I-20 request. Again, there's no set deadline for that, but I know at some countries it can take, a lot longer to get a visa interview. So you'll want to do that probably as soon as possible after you have decided you're coming to the program, pay that deposit and start that I-20 request process. Once you submit your I-20 request, the turnaround time is about 2 to 3 weeks to get your I-20 from the graduate school.
Thank you, Heather. This next question I'll ask to Matthew because it's about having had work experience and having like a mid to senior level of career and then transitioning to grad school afterwards. So the question is from Elliot, how has it been to come back to school during your mid-senior career level? Are you finding the experience challenging enough, rewarding enough? What was it for you? I know that you worked for a decade before coming to our program.
Absolutely, again, a great question. I think the biggest challenge is coming back to studying, like that whole process of not working, that whole inertia. But once I think a few weeks in, I managed to get back into it. It has been very rewarding because you would assume that after working for so long, you know a lot, but each day it surprised me, like even from uh, your fellow cohort classmates, that from different experiences, learning from them, you learn new things because you're working with folks from different generations, from instructors. So everything's changing. Like, for example, a year ago, generative AI wasn't even a thing. Now it's everything. So that kind of learning is kind of really down to what you experience here. So I would say, depending on the classes you take, what your intentions and what you aim to get out of the program, it will be very, what do you say, rewarding. And it definitely is challenging. It'll have challenging spots where you're learning new things, interacting with people from different age groups. So all of that comes into creating a different experience for you. So I would say it's been an amazing one altogether. I hope that answers your question.
Thank you, Matthew. And again, we can dive deep too in the follow-up breakout groups too, to kind of encourage you all to join different people that you're hearing from and further ask questions and clarifications in small group format. The next question I'll share is from Sydney. Thank you, Sydney, and thank you, Elliot, for your questions, and thank you to all of you really for your questions. And Sydney is asking about kind of balancing work with school and whether or not to pursue the program on part-time basis and what the course loads are like. I know that those of you who are here are working for the program and balancing schoolwork. Sydney, just as a note, we have a number of students who are also pursuing the program as they're working full-time in the program. So that's a common experience. And Heather can speak to this too, but some of our students pursue full-time, then part-time, then full-time, based on their work schedule. It's common to be decided based on your demands of your job, and I and Heather and others in the program will consult you on how to balance it all. But students take anywhere between 1 to 2 courses per quarter, and that means 1 to 2 evenings or weekends. I'm going to turn to Kavya, who's now doing the social media management position and also taking classes alongside. How is the load to you? How do you feel like all of these are coming along at the same time?
I feel like so sometimes when you have a lot of workload, I feel like the professors at Comm Lead, they're really, really understanding. For example, if once in a while, if I'm not able to turn in something that is really important, I make sure that I communicate with the professor, and the professor is really, really understanding with that. That being said, I always try to divide time and make make a to-do list that, the first part of my day goes towards working for the social media department. And the second half is all about classes and connecting with the teammates for our group projects. So I think it is challenging and rewarding at the same time, because once you get into a habit of doing this, eventually every week, you feel really great about yourself, and like you're productive all the time. You have your group projects, you are brainstorming with your class, you're brainstorming with your Comm Lead team about what to go on social media or not. And everything is so interconnected that you kind of start loving it. So for me, it has been a lovely experience. It has been challenging at times, but like a clear communication with the professor and making sure that I make to-do lists have been working for me really well.
Thank you so much. Yes, again, it's of course a lot to balance, and we totally understand that, but we're here to support you, just so you know, along that journey. Now, the next question, Dar is asking a question about fields you can choose with MCDM, the types of jobs that you can kind of pursue with the that are tailored. Maybe I can start with Haya. What, from your experience of taking classes, what are some areas that MCDM students usually pursue in terms of professions and areas and job titles that they seek out?
Okay, sure. So for me, I personally taken so many storytelling classes, and also my favorite is going to be video storytelling. So for me, I would like to seek for the jobs like around video production, but I have many different classmates. They have choose so many different courses like UI UX design and content marketing. I think there's going to be something related to health communications. And so there are really so many different fields you can try to learn within our different kinds of courses. And I would say there is no limited to what field you are going to work in the future.
Thank you so much. Yes, again, we have about 8 specialization areas too, so you can dive deep into an area, or you can explore different topics too. Again, in content related fields, storytelling, and our marketing and UX and UI and branding. I think our students represented today are a testament of a variety of different options of that. And again, I encourage you all to dive deep in the conversations. Now, there are a couple questions. Dara is asking this. She's also asking this, Heather. I'm going to turn this to you about when the students can have a CPT and or start work on campus. So say they arrive and they have an international student status. How does that journey look like in terms of seeking employment on campus or internships off campus?
Yes, another very common question that comes up. So international students who are attending on an F1 visa are eligible to work on campus right away. So you can get a job or a consultancy position or any job on campus starting that very first quarter, so in the end of September. And for students who want to work off campus under CPT, which stands for Curricular Practical Training, it's the work authorization off campus for students on an F1 visa. It depends on whether you got your undergraduate degree in the US or if you're coming to the US for the first time for your graduate degree. So for students who just graduated or are about to, like this spring, from their undergrad program, typically you're eligible for CPT right away because your quarters in the US already can count. For students that are new or on a new I-20 for the Comm Lead program, you would have to wait 3 full-time quarters before you're eligible for CPT. So typically that's right after spring quarter. Summer internships, or it's a really popular time to do internships, so the timing works out great for that. So again, that's the difference if you're, currently on an F1 visa or if you're coming in with a new F1 visa, it's either right away or after one academic year, so after spring quarter.
Thank you so much, Heather. And we're right on time to give you some time to dive deep into these questions or get to meet people in a smaller setting and also get to meet some of your cohort mates too. Feel free to reach out to me as well if you have lingering questions about experiences in the program. I hope this gave you a quick glimpse, but also explore our website, but reach out to us and schedule some time too. We're happy to talk to you about any and all about our program. And again, we're thrilled for the prospect of having you in the program. And we are looking forward to meeting you in autumn. And thank you again for taking the time tonight and for considering our community to be a part of your journey. Thank you all so much.